So the Charles vs. Gamma card ended 2 days ago. It was a pretty good card. A lot of finishes. I really enjoyed it. Even though I did get 7 out of 12 right. So not too good, not too bad. But either way, I got the Charles pick perfectly spot on. I perfectly described it. Gamma, he had nothing for Charles on the feet, nothing on the ground. It was a stylistic nightmare for Gamma, basically. And so, Charles grappling his submission threat, nullified Gamrot's wrestling his scrambles. And on the striking, Charles was he's a decent striker. He has power, and Gamrot has pillow punches. He actually gets out striking his fights. But weirdly enough, Gamrot was out striking Charles in this fight. But at the same time, Gamrot has pillow punches. He couldn't take advantage of the Ilya KO. Charles had zero respect for Gamrot striking. It seemed like it. And so that happened. And then the second round, he landed a beautiful takedown. I was not expecting that from Charles. Beautiful takedown. Super impressed by Charles, by the way. And so he submitted him in the second round. Got the win. Great win. Especially coming off a fourth round turnaround from getting KO'd. Charles is still very dangerous. Like I said, he only lost to Prime Islam, Prime Ilya, Prime Armin. And so he's still very good. It's just he's just losing to these monsters at lightweight. So yeah, he's still very good. And so after he won, he called out Max Holloway for the rematch. I was not expecting that. I wasn't expecting Charles to really have a fighter in mind to fight next. I was expecting him to wanna, not call out anybody and take his time to rest after getting a win and take his time. But yeah, it seems like Max, he tweeted saying he wants to do it, and so it looks like this is going to happen. They do seem to want to fight each other, and this is a big fight. This fight makes perfect sense in a lot of ways because if you don't remember, they already fought each other at over a decade ago at featherweight. Charles started out as a lightweight, then he went down to featherweight and fought Max Holloway. I think Max Holloway was his last featherweight fight, also. But yeah, either way, that fight ended in a horrible way where Charles got injured. I think it was a collarbone fracture. So it's not a legit win for Max. It's like a Curtis Blaze versus Tom Aspinall win where, Tom Aspinall quickly got injured. He got a knee or ankle fracture. And so technically on paper, Curtis Blades KO'd Aspinall, but we all know that's not a legit win. But either way, this seems like a fight that's probably going to happen, and this is not going to be a Yair versus Lopez fight or situation where the build-up was there, the beef was there. It made perfect sense in the rankings, and it didn't happen because Yair didn't want to fight Lopez. Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira do seem to want to fight each other, so this makes perfect sense, and it's very possible for them to fight each other, especially if they're kind of close in the rankings as well. This fight was already there. I also Charles and Max fought on UFC 300. Max went up to lightweight and fought Justin Gaethje. Got an amazing finish over him in the last 10 seconds. That was a great fight. It's very hard to top a performance like that, in recent modern UFC history. But either way, Charles lost to Armin in a, I guess, number one title contender fight, I guess. And so he lost the fight. So it makes perfect sense to book Max versus Charles after UFC 300, but didn't happen. Charles booked with Michael Chandler, fought him. Max, who did he fight after? He fought Ilya after, and so they kind of lost track in fighting each other, and so now Max Holloway returned back to lightweight, got a win over Dustin Poirier, great win for Max, and then Charles, he also fought Ilya. Ilya went up and got killed, and now Charles is in a back onto the winning column after this Gamrot performance. And so the fight is there. We deserve this fight. This fight has been there for a little while actually, and for over a year, and we still haven't got it. So let's get it now before Charles gets any older. Max, yes, he's in his prime technically in his age, but he's also suffered a lot of damage, and so they're kind of up there in age when it comes to MMA age. But we need this fight right now. It makes perfect sense to have it probably January or not February for either of those cards, and for the Paramount deal because this is a huge fight. My guess is they're probably gonna do they have they always done it for these BMF title fights, except for the UFC 300 one. They're gonna have a card and have the BMF title as an actual defense as a main event for a card, which I don't like. I really want these to be co-mains, like how they did in UFC 300. But yeah, I do not want a full card to be dedicated to a BMF title. I don't want that. I would rather have this fight be under the Ilya versus Justin Gaethje fight. That makes perfect sense. Have this as the BMF co-main and have Ilya as the main. But technically, it seems like Pantoja versus Van is going to be the co-main for that fight. So I guess they are gonna do the BMF title fight for as main event for Max versus Charles for this probably February for that pay-per-view. But either way, I really want to see this fight. Everybody wants to see this fight. I don't know who does not want to see this fight, because they're both likable. They both have huge fan bases, and the first fight wasn't legit. And Max Holloway is now at lightweight, so they can meet each other now because, like I said, Charles, his last fight was against Max Holloway at featherweight, so it was kind of hard for them to rematch after that. And so, book it, makes sense. Don't do another Yair versus Lopez situation where it makes perfect sense and it doesn't happen. So like I said, this is the fight the fans deserve. This is the fight like we all deserve. This fight makes perfect sense in the rankings. Please, UFC, don't screw this up. Please give us this fight. I really want to see it. Who wins? Early predictions? I don't know actually, because Max Holloway has improved a lot. Even when he was champ, he improved even further from that. He now has KO power, more skilled. He's in his prime physically, even though he's more like kind of seen more as a vet. And so this fight makes perfect sense. Can Charles, get a crazy finish over Max Holloway, or can Max Holloway get a crazy finish over Charles? They're both very dangerous. They both are very good. Charles only lost to the elite. Max Holloway only lost to the elite, and Max Holloway has improved a lot, and he's now fighting well into lightweight. So this is a very good fight. I can't wait to see it if it does get booked, and it should get booked. But yeah, that's all I want to say. This fight is a fight we all need to see. It will be a sin if we don't get this fight at all. Like, come on, it was there like after UFC 300. We should have got it then. And then it got messed up a little bit, and now it's there again after the Charles win. So please give us this fight. Makes perfect sense. Please. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. If you've seen this far, please like. But either way, thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.